You Can Make the Change is the copyright of Martin Johnson, 8020coaching.co.uk. In this guided self-hypnosis experience, I invite you to believe in your ability and the predictability to make the changes in your life you would like to achieve. Let go of unnecessary judgments or restrictions and instead open up your full mind to the possibility of change. If you are doing anything that needs your full conscious attention or looking after anyone else, switch off this recording now. Wait until it's completely safe to enjoy an inner experience of peace and well-being without anything else going on. Before we begin, take a moment to find a comfortable place where you can relax, undisturbed, and discover some insights that will help you with the changes or goals you want to work on. At any time you may adjust your body, move about to be more comfortable, and if there is anything important that requires your immediate attention, then you will immediately come up to full conscious awareness and attend to the matter in hand. And as you take a moment to relax your body so that you can enjoy a few minutes of deep relaxation or other kind of calming experience of time just for you to explore without even having to think. You can just listen to my voice as you settle into that space of easily letting go. Your conscious thoughts could just drift off or otherwise float away without trying to control or direct, and just take your attention to the moment, resting there, breathing gently, letting things calm and quieten ever so gently. That's right. Being aware of your breathing and small shifts in your body that are signs that you are giving yourself some time, investing in yourself, quietly and peacefully. Take the moment to just breathe and settle there, now, while your unconscious part of your mind just does this for you. You might even rest your eyes more deeply. Can they feel even more heavy, or just so relaxed that the muscles allow the eyes to sink further into the sockets? Just like when you last rested in this way. Would that have been last night, or sometime before or since? They may want to close. It's not important how heavy they feel, or when that happens. And as that process continues, and you find your own way for this, at the pace that's right for you, letting go of expectations and judgments, taking your attention inside and just allowing your inner awareness to expand and to happen quite naturally. Like when you gaze at the stars on a clear, warm summer's evening or night. first noticing maybe one or two of the brighter ones. And then, as your eyes become accustomed, other stars start to emerge into your vision, and your awareness of this opens more and more. And you're quite fascinated at seeing what you didn't even notice a moment before. And maybe your attention goes to one place or another. Or do you see the shapes and patterns emerge? Or even, for a moment, just stop thinking consciously at all, so that you can just watch, feel, absorbed, and take in the wonder. As I invite you to consider, did you ever wonder, when change had happened, how would you know or predict what now is possible that wasn't thought before, so that you could fully enjoy the change without regret and trust that the change has happened and had happened? Did you know your unconscious part of your mind knows that? Even if you might forget consciously, your strength is always there. Your unconscious always knows what's right and what's left, and what's been left behind, and now what's ahead, to enjoy. Right ahead, and after that, and then even later. And what's ahead in time becomes right for you. Or it could even be left aside while you focus on other things that are right or right ahead, and also able to look back to see what's left and right behind to enjoy. And might that be an interesting new way of considering change? I don't know how much predicting the success and comfort of changes you'd like to have already achieved. Could be interesting to imagine, and to comfortably and predictably be assured that your unconscious can know just how it has it all covered for you. And that level of control and comfort means you can access your inner strengths and so many other abilities, even though, how much could I know what had been forgotten that is there, and only needs a light to shine on it. Just like when you go into a storeroom looking for something you thought was there, and as you move one thing, you notice something else and realize it's useful but had been covered, and now you know it's there. You can log that and come back to it when you need it, and gaining even more interest if you get distracted, and just go with the exploration. You find another thing you'd forgotten, which is useful again at the right time, as if slowly and gently you are turning on the light and more lights in your mind's eye or somewhere to reveal more clarity in all these resources, more and more of them that had been waiting for the moment to be found and logged for later on. And that's because sometimes we can't take it all in consciously at one go. Did you ever find that? Which is okay, because the unconscious is there to manage and imagine it all. That wider ability of the unconscious mind to understand at multiple levels, all at the same time. The infinite ability to connect and store knowledge, insights, skills and abilities. You couldn't possibly track all at one go, could you not? And it doesn't even matter, because that's the way it works. Just doing it automatically is so much easier. Like driving a car so often that you don't have to think much about it. Or like when you are walking along, you don't think about how your legs work. They just work. And you get to where you are going. And then you are there and on to the next thing, without thinking. Or when you want to communicate, you don't have to think about opening your mouth. You just decide to speak, and the rest happens automatically. And even if those examples are not quite the same for you, there will be thousands of others that prove the notion. That's right. You're able to do things at that level of unconscious ability, which work could even surprise you how much, until you noticed it was done. And then something else was done. And then another thing was done. That's right. So then, looking back at some time, the pieces had been forming, and you now see the whole picture. And the pieces that you'd brought together to form the solution, goal, or other change you wanted so much, to know it was possible. And in that way, when you recognize what has been achieved, it becomes easier to imagine and recognize other achievements. And also easier to contemplate. That's right. Having started some other things along the way now, you find important and possible, because the most important learning, how would I know what you think, could be just that. Ability to set your mind and just get going. And how much could I know? It's within your ability. Just as simple as breathing calmly and deeply reminds you of that ability to relax now. and just let it all sink in. That's right. That's right. And then, can you find yourself automatically in a powerful state of resourcefulness and self-empowerment? Or do you just appreciate yourself for that? Because when you connect with your abilities and let go of limitations, it's easier to be authentically you. Just accepting and acceptance of who you truly are as your own self, true self, without restriction, feels great. That's right. I'd imagine. And by being that authentic you, gives you space to breathe and connect with all of that freedom, where you're strong and feel strong, yet at the same time you are flexible to adjust this way and that according to the situation that fits with your highest intentions of health and well-being, and all those possibilities that open up. That's right. And just as when it happens automatically, that's right, and you find yourself that this or that journey has been completed, all those possibilities and new ones open up. It's just predictable as you just do it. Like when you arrive at your destination and you get on with what you'd come for, and then you make further journeys, as there is always more to explore like that. And at the same time, your album, memories, experiences of journeys past builds daily, so that you can look back and say, yes, I did it. And the confidence of that means you can be accepting of those abilities, to allow them to be accessible more often and in a more integrated way, unconsciously, so that consciously you don't even have to remember what it was that was said here or there, or just before that, as it doesn't matter. While unconsciously it's all gone in, it's so much easier. And just as much as you could imagine gazing at the stars on a clear, warm summer's evening or night, first noticing maybe one or two of the brighter ones, and then, as your eyes become accustomed, other stars start to emerge into your vision, and your awareness of this opens more and more. That's right. And you're quite fascinated at seeing what you didn't even notice a moment before. And maybe your attention goes to one place or another. Or do you see the shapes and patterns emerge? Or even for a moment, experience such a level of contentment and serenity, so that you can just watch, feel, absorb, and take in the wonder. You could also imagine that in a moment it will be time to bring to a close this trance experience until the next time you'll want to come back or experience it, or be reminded in other ways. Certainly over the days and weeks to come, you could notice your ability for change, and change happening in ways that fit with your values and best intentions. And now that you've considered that, you could gently become more aware of your focus, moving from inside to your body, and you realize just how relaxed you feel as you take your attention back to your breathing and take some nice, gentle, deep breaths. And can you feel your attention spreading around your body, from your head to your toes, from your shoulders to your hands, becoming even more aware of the world around you, coming further up and aware as you begin to move and stretch and easily and gently open your eyes, coming fully back into the room or world around you, eyes completely open and wide awake, ready for the day ahead. Fully awake now, welcome back, well done.